Good morning. Welcome back to Tech Talk Live. I'm Amy Masters, one of the admin of our group, and today I have a special guest, Katherine Fleming, who's an assistant editor with Nails Magazine. Oh, how exciting is that? We're going to talk about how to get published, how to get used. I call a workshop that I do, I call it Get Branded, Get Used. And this is what I mean by that, is putting yourself out there to get used from social media, get used from clients. Sometimes getting used is a good thing. So I'm gonna bring Katherine on here. Not yet. You guys know I get so excited at the beginning of these that, hi Julia. I get beyond like nervous excitement. So close. And so far I can't even see who's watching, so I'm hoping. Oh, here comes the comments. I'm hoping I can read comments today. Luana thinks it's minus 11 degrees here in Dayton, where I'm at. It is so cold here. I have extra heat going, my sweater, the whole works. Not yet. Katherine will be here any moment. Hi, Rachel. Thanks, guys, for joining in. And Miss Melissa, and another Melissa, Tanya, Caitlin, nice to see you. Always nice to see you. Aw. Hi, Donna. Morning, beautiful. It's grass cutting time here. Oh my. Well, put it this way, we got so much snow yesterday that they did a snow day at the school, so there was no snow. There was no school. There was nothing yesterday. It was crazy. Hi, Jennifer and Rebecca. Net, hello, guys. I'm waiting for Katherine Fleming to come on. She just messaged me. Here we go. We have Katherine. Good morning, Zeta.
Hi, is it working?
Yes, it is Katherine. Everyone, this is Katherine Fleming. She's an assistant nails editor publishing editor with Nails Magazine. And so excited to be able to have you here today. You're the first publisher I've had on Tech Talk.
It's so exciting to be here. Thank you for asking me.
Yes, absolutely. And so, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I just want to say thank you again. I sent an email to Nails Magazine. It's been maybe a year and a half ago or so, and Katherine was the one that responded to me and helped answer some questions. And actually, I ended up getting published again just from emailing her. And so, being able to bring Katherine on today comes full circle for me because I want to share with you all how just putting yourself out there and putting yourself to the next step and finding just the right people. They want you. They want to use you. So get used. And so Katherine, tell us more about you. How did you get started with Nails Magazine?
Well, I actually worked as an editorial assistant for our parent publishing company, which publishes about 21 magazines, one of which is Nails. And so I worked for all the magazines. Some of them were more like automotive magazines. So that was not as exciting for me. So I was so excited because the opening came up on Nails, and I got to get added to Nails. That's how I got started.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. So I think I'm going to turn my heater off because I'm kind of wondering if it's not cutting you out. So I'm going to be back in just a second. But while I'm away, will you share? So when you got to the next level where you could just deal with Nails Magazine on its own, was it nerving then? Or were you excited because it tied into did you ever think it would just be fingernails that you would be editing?
I was really excited because I think that Nails is the most fun brand in our office because everybody is they care so much about nails and there's so much artistry and just feel like nail techs really want to help each other, like you, Amy, with your classes and just trying to help each other, and I really love that about the nail world, so I was really excited to get added to that.
Yeah, so true. And they always say, oh, well, there's so many nail salons. I don't think I'm going to become a nail tech. Or there's already people that do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. And so they tend to hold themselves back. And, being in
Mhm.
the magazine industry, there are so many magazines out there that what we can do is specialize and perfect in one area. And then we can shine, but you don't know till you put yourself out there. And so what do you look for when people, what do you look for to be able to, one, publish just the picture side of it? What kind of things do you look for?
Oh, well, with this technical aspects of the pictures, we just want them to be very clear, high resolution. I mean, there's different kinds of images that we run. So, like, if you want us to publish, say, a picture of nail art on somebody's hands, we would look for it to be very close up and focused on the nails, very good art, very clean. Like sometimes people will have a problem where you put on cuticle oil after finish like the right thing, so then people might have public where the cuticle is very clean, so it might look like some of the client watching their
Oh,
that we publish. So yeah.
yeah, it kind of cut out just a little bit, and my heater's off, so it's not my heater, so I'm not quite sure with that. But I did get the idea that you were talking about sometimes like the cuticle oil and maybe even sometimes all the extra watermarks that people put on, or the background
Yeah.
has too much going on in the background that doesn't show clear enough. And so I have a lot of tips. I've actually given some, but after today's Tech Talk with you, I'm actually going to go in the extra side and I'm going to go
Mhm.
live. I'm going to give tips on what you can do to, like, with the cuticle oil and with the watermarks and all of that as well.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of people saying they can't hear, so I'm not sure if that's on my end, but I'm gonna try to turn the volume. Can people hear right now?
And actually, it's coming in a lot clearer. Sometimes what we have to do is turn the volume up all the way on your phone so it can
Yeah, I
recognize
think
the
it's
voice.
enough all the way.
Yeah,
Can people hear me?
I can now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Brianna asked, do you want pictures to have watermarks or no? So for something like reader nail art, it's okay to have a watermark, but we don't want them to have watermarks necessarily. But if it's small and like not interfering with the nail photo, then it's okay to have watermarks. But we don't want like a huge watermark right in the middle because it will look weird.
Right, exactly like that. And so, besides pictures, you guys also do editorials on, like, for instance, on Sunday, Lori Holloway is my guest. And in February's issue, this is Nails Magazine. This is where Catherine works. Isn't that so cool? Lori Holloway's my guest on Sunday, and here's actually a story about the meticulous manicurist. What kind of things do you look for, like, in stories like that?
Well, so I think that particular story, if I recall correctly, was part of the healthy tech column. So, so my colleague Nancy does that, and that's a column that focuses on any nail tech who's had a health challenge that they've um, responded to. So I think Lori had a surgery, and so she dealt with that health problem. But it could also be somebody who had maybe a weight loss, or maybe they just work on getting stronger and became some kind of athlete or something. So that's a really fun column, and we have that every month. So anybody who has something to share about their health journey can participate in that column.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And so, to be able to do this, how do you suggest that people that have pictures or they have stories that pertain that they feel should be published, what's the best way to submit those?
Well, there's four editors on the magazine, and we all have different areas that we focus on. So if you know specifically what your story is, then you can contact the right person. So I can kind of give a rundown of those sections. But also, if you aren't sure what your story would go with, like you when you first contacted us, you just kind of shared your story. So if you have something that you're not sure, where it would go, then you can always email editor@nailsmag.com because we all check that, and so that will help get those right.
Yeah, and I'll put the links in the comments of how to reach each of you because I actually have them listed here from the magazine, so I can do that as well.
Great. People are saying they can't hear again, but so I don't know. Is it still? Can you hear, guys?
Hmm. It cuts in and out a little bit for me. I can make out exactly what you're talking about, and I'm not quite sure. I've never had that happen before, so I'm not quite
Um,
sure.
I wonder. I wonder if it's a Wi-Fi issue. Sorry, I'm gonna like put my hand over my camera quickly because I think if it's a Wi-Fi issue, I should put it on data. So let me just do that.
Sometimes I do have to do that, yeah. Catherine, you are so cute. I love that
Thank
finally
you.
I can put a face to who you are, and oh, I'm so excited that you joined us in today.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to work. I don't want it to it's muffled. I don't want it to leave the
And if you
live.
That's okay. We can always restart it. Should we restart it and see if that will get us a better connection?
I'm gonna click back. I don't know if that'll yeah, make it. Okay, yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, you haven't cut out so far.
Okay.
And then it took her away. So I'm going to stay on because as soon as she gets connection again, it should show me that she's back on and then we can bring her back on as well. And yes, Michelle, I agree. She is such a doll. I've worked with her behind the scenes over probably since she just started at Nails Magazine. And she's been a great person for me to ask questions and try to get myself to the next level as well. And you know what? We don't know till we ask, right? And so it's worth asking. So I'll put the links in the comments of, um, of who to message. And then I'll put the link to Nails Magazine because they have an online version as well as a print version. And then there's Nail Art Gallery, which is a whole other website that's linked into it. And so I can tell you guys that my career went to the next level of truly being consistently published, consistently on Pinterest because of Nail Art Gallery. And so I really want to touch base on that when Catherine can join us again because um, I want to share all this nerdy nail knowledge that I have with you guys so that you guys can go to the next level as well. That's your goal. Yes. Hi, Desiree. Okay, so I'm going to click and see if Catherine's back, and it shows me that she is. So hopefully we got a better connection now. I hear my clock ticking.
Okay, I hope people can hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about that. Sometimes the technology, it's a hit and miss some days, but today hopefully it's more of a hit.
I hope so. It's always a problem.
Yeah, and it is cutting out just a little bit still, darn it. But I don't think it's really that bad. I can make out everything that you're leaning to and I can help interpret as well. Um,
Okay, yeah.
so
Sorry about that.
yeah, so no, it's good. And so I was just telling them how not only with Nails Magazine that you guys have the option to be published in there, but you guys also have a complete online edition where you can showcase people's videos and live tutorials and stuff like that. Do you want to touch base about the online portion?
Yeah, we have lots of online stuff. We have great Instagram accounts. You guys should always tag or hashtag Nails Magazine when you post on Instagram because you can share people's work. We have our Facebook Facebook page that you guys can all follow, and sometimes I'll post requests for things there, so that's a great thing to follow. And of course, we have Nail Art Gallery, which is a great community where you can share your nail art, and yeah, it's just really fun.
Yes. So Nail Art Gallery was something I discovered. Uh, I want to say it was like 2011 or 2012. And I didn't know what it was. It was my first online like meeting place with other techs, and I could have a profile and submit pictures and stuff. But what I didn't realize is it put me in connection with other nail techs on what products that we use behind the scenes and stuff like that. So it was a great first forum for me, which obviously Nail Art Gallery has led to what I'm doing today. And so I want to thank you guys for having Nail Art Gallery because it helped excel me to the next level. So with Nail Art Gallery, they are also linked into Pinterest. And so I noticed that I hadn't at that time had a board on Pinterest yet, but what I noticed is that all of a sudden my pictures were showing up on Pinterest because people were pinning it from Nail Art Gallery. And that to me was like
Mm-hmm.
the greatest like reward at that time. And so I love how it's all linked in together. And so those of you,
Yeah.
I'll put Nail Art Gallery link as well, but if you get into Nail Art Gallery and they publish you on their online magazine, Bobbit Publishing will contact you and you can get plaques made with your name on it and the publishing. And I have like 6 of these. I love them.
Oh, so cool.
They're definitely wall worthy. And so what do you guys look at when you share the pictures from the nail art gallery? Is it kind of the same for the magazine or do you look at it a little bit differently?
It's similar. I think the with Nail Art Gallery being shared to Pinterest and stuff like that, it's just the images that have really good art that are really clear and really focused on the nails, basically. So occasionally people post something that maybe it's a little dim or a little blurry, and so we wouldn't pin that because it's hard for people to see. But most people post like really focused on the nails and clear. So yeah, that's what it
Yeah. And for all of you guys, my only camera that I've ever used is my cell phone. So your cell phone does have enough of the quality of the latest in camera technology to
is.
be able to be published. So just know that you can use it. No holding back. There's no excuses.
That's right.
Michelle
Yeah,
says, yeah, Michelle says she was wondering why her nail art was being repinned from Pinterest and that that was very cool.
yeah, that's why.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So another big, great thing that, like big, huge, big, great thing that Nails Magazine does is they offer the Big Book. So
Yeah.
once a year you get the Big Book, and this is how we know what product companies are out there, kind of what's coming up in the nail industry from state to state, who the state boards are, if you know, to get your next
Mhm.
licensing, your CEUs. And so wow. So all these companies that maybe want to be published, how would they contact somebody to be in the Big Book?
Oh, that's a great question. I think they would just contact. I think they would contact anyone from Nails. But I'm not sure actually who is in charge of the whole complete list because I don't do that part of the big book. It's a great
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
I'll look through here and find if it's just to the editors or whatnot, and I'll put that in the links as well. So I'll look through my Big Book and see. How
Yeah.
exciting. You guys have no clue that once you subscribe to Nails Magazine, the possibilities are huge. This is more than just a magazine that comes every month. This is your connection to the entire world's industry, and you're holding yourself back if you don't spend, I think it's like $24 a year. Sometimes they run specials and stuff to be subscribed, and that allows you to be subscribed on the internet, allows you, the nail art gallery is free. I mean, there's so many ways to get yourself out there, but you have to take the first plunge and just do it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me
So,
to tell you a little bit more about the different sections?
yes.
Sure. So I am in charge of the technique section and step by steps and nail art contests. So I have a lot of and my other life, which is really fun. It's in the back of the book. So if you are for the technique section, it's just kind of different new sometimes new products or different tips, Q&As. I ask you for a Q&A. So if people want to, if people have like a different tip, like an easy way they do something, or like a new way that they figured out to do something, that's something that maybe you can. And then for the nail art step by steps, I just need photos that show the steps of a nail art design. And so that's at least 5 usually, but you can send more than that, 8. And then for my other life, it's just if you have an unusual hobby or like interesting stuff to talk about. So I love doing those.
Yeah, I can see why. And that would be so interesting too to read through all the submissions. And I think what would be the hardest part is narrowing it down to, oh my gosh, you only have 12 per year and you have like 1,000 submissions. So like how to narrow it down to which ones catch your eye the most. And so being creative and unique in your story, I think would probably set you apart.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, but you can, it doesn't have to be like a huge official hobby. We have all kinds of, like there's a woman who was building a dollhouse or something, and that was really cool. She had all the pictures of it in progress. It was so cute and awesome. So it doesn't have to be like, um, I mean, sometimes I feel like my hobbies aren't that serious, but it doesn't have to be a really serious thing that takes spare time.
It's so true, but you know what? Until we put it out there, we don't know how many people we connect with. And so it's
Exactly.
amazing, you know. Just like, so the person that's building the dollhouse, we can connect with her if we're going to do a competition for box sets because, you know, you're creating things from tips or from the products that you have into something else. And so you never know how you might connect on a different level.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
John
how
asked
fun.
when the big book comes out. I think it comes out at the end of the year. Is that right, Amy?
Yeah, so this one, I don't remember when I got it, but it's a 2017, 2018 issue. But it came with my Nails magazine. They always come together.
Yeah.
And so I agree. I don't know exactly what month it comes out, but I know it's annual.
Yeah, it comes out every year, and there's like yeah, that one was 2017, so there'll be another one at the end of this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How fun. And
Yeah.
so a little bit more about you. So now that you've gotten to see all these different product lines and all these different colors and, you know, themes and stuff like that, if you could have one color named after you and a name to it because you know the names are so much fun, what color would you choose and what name?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like that's such a big question to name a color. Like that's a huge question. I would definitely be a purple because that's my favorite color. So it would definitely be a purple. Yeah, but it's funny because I remember talking to somebody from a nail company and she was like, "Oh, I got to name the colors because like the other people at the company was like, oh, we've named so many colors, like we don't have any names left." So she got to name the colors.
I'm totally convinced that people are sitting on a beach somewhere with a color swatch having Mai Tais and they're coming up with these colors and most of these color names are probably inside jokes, but they put it on the bottle and it becomes a part of our our salons as well.
Yeah,
I've always said that I want to be the person that sits around naming nail polish because I figure that that has to just be so much fun and maybe a little intoxicated.
yeah, that sounds like a great job, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. So I know that we only have like 30 minutes with you today, which is only another 5 minutes, but what's next for you? What kind of a new platform are you kind of coming up with? Is it with a magazine? Or are you guys going to extend out and do something even further?
Oh, was the magazine?
Yeah.
Um, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up actually. I'm not. So we just did a redesign of the magazine, which is our 35th anniversary this year, actually, which is super exciting. So we did a cool redesign of the magazine, so it looks more sharp, fresh, really exciting, and we're having a website redesign coming up. Um, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I think we have some things that are going to be coming up, but I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about that. So I'm not going to say much.
Or you might not be able to tell us. I was talking to Susie Maskell and I asked her the same thing one day. I go, so what's next? And she goes, oh my gosh, I haven't told anybody this yet. And then she told me what was going on. Like she told us on live and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that she shared that with us first. So
Very
it's
cool.
worth always asking what's next just because we always have to be looking in that direction. If we always think, you know, oh, okay, I got this done, I got this done, well, we're still living in the moment and we have to know what's next and what we're doing. And so even with magazines, you guys are always restructuring and rebranding and rebuilding and bringing on new people to try things new and trial and error. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. But at least on the publishing side, we see what works.
Yes, that's right. You always have to keep trying new things. It's very exciting. It's a very exciting time.
Yay. All right. Well, Catherine, it's been almost 30 minutes, and I know that you were pressed for time. You have another meeting after this, and I can't thank you enough for even giving us just a moment of your time to share your knowledge. And so, those of you that are on Tech Talk, stay on because when Catherine goes to her meeting, I have a whole bunch of tips for you on getting published and just the little fine things like we were talking about, like cuticle oil and stuff like that. And then yes. So, Catherine, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for not only responding to my email a couple years ago, but you continuously respond to me where I've been able to be published a few times in the last year, and that's because of you. And I thank you for doing that and allowing this to go to the next level.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for, thank you to all of you for reading the magazine and being involved.
Yeah. So I think the biggest tip here is that one, the people need to take pictures and then they need to submit them to you. From there, at least it's out there and it's available for you to use and for people to get used. And so put yourself out there, take pictures, 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 pictures.
Yeah, actually, can I just say a word about nail art contests because that's under uh,
Yeah.
my area as well, and I forgot to mention it. So I have I think 4 nail art contests, and 3 of them are ones where you send in tips. So we have a celebrity face-off contest where you have like the face of a celebrity on a nail. Mini masterpiece, which is where you have like a work of art, and um, the mural contest, which is across several nail tips. And for that, you create your art on nail tips and email it to us. And we get such great submissions for that, and I would love to get more great submissions for those. And then the other one that's kind of bigger is the cover tech contest. And so for that one, you have to have a whole photo shoot basically to make an image that can be the cover, which is so cool, and it could be your chance to be on the cover of the magazine, or even if you don't, because we get so many great submissions, it's so hard to choose the cover winner. But the top 10 get voted on in you guys. Then if you're in the top 10, you get published inside the magazine. So that's a great opportunity. Want to do
Yeah.
that?
I can say that I'm not a competitor. Like when it comes to the big competitions and stuff, I would rather support and help you behind the scenes. I get too nervous. I never do my best at competitions, and I've just learned that there's no reason to ever put me in that space again. However, I can say the inner competition side of me it's pushing for a cover. Just this year brought in a photographer for the very first time with inspiration from one of our admin, Becky. She did that, and she actually had made it into, I think, honorable mention or whatnot. And I thought, once again, just so you don't know till you try. And for me, because you're in your own salon and you're, recreating the cover picture, it's a lot less stress than being there in person at the shows. And so,
That's right.
maybe for those of you who like to compete, maybe that would be a better option for you, or another option, I should say, is go for the cover. Oh my goodness. Or even to be mentioned in the magazine is just a great honor on its own. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
of course.
Wonderful. All right. Well, Catherine, thanks again for your time. I know you have a meeting to go to. I appreciate so much. And maybe 6 months or a year from now, we can touch base again and see what else is new and hopefully have a better connection. And but I
Yeah,
thank you for sticking with me.
of course. Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you everybody for watching. Sorry about the connection problems.
It happens. We still made it work out.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
All right. Well, thank you, Catherine, and to Beth and everybody there that has allowed you to take the time to come on live with us. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, Michelle says, I won a competition as a student with flat art 20 years ago, so never too soon to start. Isn't that so true, Michelle? Hi, Celeste. Hi, Anita. Okay, so now you guys are stuck with me for probably, I don't know, the next 15, 20 minutes. So I've been published many times, and I can say my first time was like in 1998. And I actually still have all the magazines. I don't have them out today. And so being published obviously is one of those things that makes you feel that you're a big deal. That's our goal, is to be published and be recognized in the nail industry. And so but you have to be consistent. and you have to keep trying. Maybe for that issue, there's just, what you submitted in isn't, for that time of the year, or maybe they already had so many. So you have to be consistent and re-enter and re-enter. And so, like I said, in the links, I'm going to post the emails to get in contact with certain people. And in this one, I'm just going to link it to Nails Magazine. There's obviously Scratch Magazine and Nail Pro and other magazines. However, Katherine took the time to join us, so I'm going to promote Nails Magazine in this one. And so, yay, Desiree, yes, yes, that kind of attitude is what I want, is that you want to get published and you can't wait to get published. But guess what? You have to take pictures. And sometimes to get published, what's becoming more common, even to attract your clientele, is before and afters. Okay. So if you submit a transformation, this is before and this is after. And then what I like to do is post a picture 3 to 4 weeks again after. So I call it my before, after, and after. And so what that allows them to do is see the longevity of how well your nails last. Kind of pose them the same so that you can see that what you're capturing is the same nails, so that it's not like trick advertising. And so here's some tips on when you do your pictures. How, and I wasn't prepared to do this, so I'm just going to have to tell you guys what it is. So C&D has a spray called Speed Spray, and it's actually made for drying nail polish. However, what I discovered is that when I was taking pictures, and we spent the time to temporarily dehydrate their nail, and they look kind of dry, and then we got to take a picture. If we put oil on it, it's going to reflect the light and then look like there's too much oil. So therefore, it doesn't take the best picture because it doesn't allow the focus of your camera to get the best capturing. And so I learned that solar speed spray, once I completed the nails and I sprayed that lightly on there and then just wiped off just a little bit onto the nail, it made the skin look healthy and not too oiled, but moisturized. And then after I take the picture, then I oil them and then I put lotion on them, because the lotion too will put a duller spot onto the nail to where when you go to take a picture, it doesn't look that grand. And then we are pushed to do watermarks these days. And the sad thing is because so many people are stealing the pictures. As you notice, not one of my pictures have a watermark on it. And the reason why is because every picture that I take, one, if somebody else wants to steal my picture and use it, I don't think that my pictures are that much of quality that anybody would want to take my picture. So those of you that are using the watermarks, maybe for your submission to the magazine, just remove the watermark on that picture and submit it to them, because then if it's going to get used again, it's going to be with them. However, a lot of times, like if you're going to post on Nail Art Gallery and you have your watermark all over it and your name all over behind it, they might not choose you because you have too much of your business into it. They want the nails and they want focus on the nails. And I've told that many times in my workshops and stuff, that sometimes we go too much with all the crystals. We have a claw light look with the crystal, but then the crystal takes away the focus of the camera. Or if you use the flash of your camera, sometimes it dilutes it out and doesn't allow it to be a printable picture. And so just remember to go back to basics. Move the watermarks to the bottom so that they can crop that off. Put the fingers close together in some sort of a pose, on the face or whatever it is, so that when they zoom in and they crop it, that can be the picture for like the cover. You'll notice some of the cover magazines, if you've ever tried to recreate, like just for fun on Pinterest or a magazine cover, try to recreate what they do on here, because you're going to realize it's a lot harder than what we think. And so finding a go-to pose, like for me, if you look at most of mine, is a pose like this. It's cropped in. Of course, thumbs don't always get in there because thumbs are always a hard one to be able to crop in, but you can do a picture like this where you can get more, like the thumb and more of the fingers in there, but play around. And once you get like your go-to picture, it doesn't take that long at the end of the appointment to capture the picture, post it on your Facebook page. Then the next thing of that I'd like to share with you guys is hashtags. Hashtags is what gets you to the next level, to where you take your Facebook submission or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever, you hashtag it Nails Magazine, and then that will allow you to be tagged into all of their stuff as well. That doesn't mean that you're getting to the editor, but where you're getting to is for anybody that's going to search Nails Magazine, it's going to get to that person. And so sometimes I think when we always use like 25 hashtags, you're not always getting to the person that you need. You would need to hashtag Nails Magazine, but also the editor part of it. And so to make sure that your submissions are getting into where they need to go, email them. Email them directly to the people. They want you. They want you to submit to them so that they don't have to go and do as much work searching and searching and searching through all of these hashtags trying to find the right pictures. Also, a nail art gallery online. At the end, so they'll email you the virtual magazine every month. And at the end, it says, looking for these types of pictures. So like right now, maybe last month's issue, they were looking for like anything green, shamrock. If you're in the UK, I think you have a Mother's Day coming up, Easter and stuff like that. And so they'll tell you what they're looking for, and then they give you the email address, submit to them, your pictures. And so this is how you got to get out there. You're going to have to read the fine print of how to do all this stuff, but I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to make the fine print in the comments so that you guys can know where to submit to. So, do you guys have any questions? Because you know that I can ramble on and on and on, but I really want to ramble on what topics you want me to cover. And then another thing with that, we were talking about getting published. So we've talked about the posing. Your cell phones are top of the line cameras with a resolution. And so we don't have to go out there and get additional cameras and all the extra lighting and stuff, because natural nail light and then sometimes our table lamps that we have with our cell phone camera is all that you need. If you're going to go into a photo shoot and do all of that, you're going to have some expenses that come with that unless you do a trade with, a photographer or whatnot. But you don't have to go to all those expenses. You can do it yourself with your cell phone. I'm proof, because I've done it many times, only using my cell phone and natural light. Michelle, where do they post what they're looking for? So Michelle, in online, in the back of a nail art gallery, it gives you, I think they usually give you like 3 or 4 topics of what they're looking for. So you'll need to subscribe to Nails Magazine, and then that will also link you into the Nail Art Gallery online magazine, the online Nails Magazine website as well. And so therefore I get mine paperback and online, because I'm still a person that likes to sit around and look through magazines and fold up pages about articles and put sticky notes in. And, I read. I'm not a great reader, but I read because I'm passionate about this and I want to know what's new and what's going on. So sometimes you have to read that fine print, read the last page of what they're looking for, get on the website and find out, what's next, and kind of just go with what holidays are, or like spring, what season it is, and say, okay, so for us, it's 11 degrees, minus 11 degrees outside. It's freezing cold, but I know the spring's coming up. So therefore, a lot of my clients naturally come in and ask for flowers on their nails or something a little bit brighter this time of the year. And so because they do that, it allows me to take the pictures now for what the magazines are going to want next month. So it's that perfect connection. So yeah, read the fine print on the magazines and stuff. Okay. Is that only for the online version? What are they looking for? And so Yvonne, I know it kind of cut out a little bit with Katherine of details of what they're looking for, but they're looking for everything, every type of nail, whether it's just a French manicure. A clean, good French never goes out of style. Sometimes it's, color blocking pictures. Sometimes it's the extremes with the extreme length. But if you notice, a lot of the covers of magazines, sometimes it's a short, black, matte finish nail. That's it. I mean, sometimes they're looking for the basics. And so they're looking for everything. I can't even narrow it in. But to be published in the magazines for next, they're looking for probably what's in the next season. So obviously, Celebration of New Year's was on the cover of that magazine. And so somebody probably submitted this in like October or November maybe, and then they got chosen to be on the cover. And so just know that sometimes you have to plan ahead for your photo shoots. My advice is don't overdo it. Anita, yes, exactly. Sometimes that kiss thing, that keep it simple, stupid, is what we need. Yes, Deb. So this will be on replay. You guys can rewatch this. Exactly. You guys, hi. You guys have so many great ideas too. And then fine print. That's why I miss it all. LOL. Yes, Michelle, that's what I usually find is that all all the details submitted in are in fine print. So here's another like extra stuff that you guys can do. And I actually just started doing this on my own just in the last couple months. I don't know why I didn't think about it sooner, but um, let's say the entire product line that you used on those nails was one company. Submit your picture into that company as well. So maybe that company will use you to be print ads for them in the magazine. So even though you might not have been got your picture published in the magazine through your submission directly to magazine, you might get in there through the ads of being on a particular company. So like Gelish is the big sponsor in the magazines. And so like if you use Gelish color, why not take a picture of that and then submit it in and maybe Gelish will use you as an ad. Um, the tutorials. So here's what Katherine was talking about tutorials. This is something that she's in charge of. So these are the step by step. She said usually there's 5, but sometimes there's less and sometimes there's more. Step by step on how to do something in the written version of that. Take that and email that to Katherine because we just spoke with her. That's what she's wanting. And so when I say the fine print, we can see an entire page like this. But see these 2 fine print ads down here? That's the fine print I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Read the entire page. First of all, the top one says, want to see your nail art on here, how to. Right there it tells you how to do it. It's that what I call the fine print, usually the bottom of the page. And then the other one is exactly that. It's where to click on the online to submit and also where to find other submissions. It's amazing. And then obviously Nails Magazine has articles among articles on how to and kind of like what we do on Tech Talk. They're bringing in stars of the industry and even some newbies of the industry and coming and writing articles of how to get the next step. How did you create this? How did you do that? And so reading those articles are so informative. Speaking of articles, in February's issue, Lori Holloway's in there and a great inspirational story. And Lori is our Tech Talk special guest for Sunday. And so I love that everything that we do, whether it's going to be a magazine, social media, or what we can do on Tech Talk, brings everybody together all around the world to where we can learn from each other and be inspired from each other. And so if you haven't had a chance to read about Lori Holloway, she's also a YouTube called The Meticulous Manicurist. And her story is amazing. And I love that she's going to be our guest on Sunday. So Sue says, did she mention something about the column regarding odd hobbies and health? Yes, Sue, she did. And so I know that I cut out a little bit so I can kind of give you an idea of, because I read the magazine all the time, I think I know what she was kind of talking to. And actually the hobby side of it, the odd hobbies, was Catherine's. That's her editorial. And she just said you can email it to her and I'll put her email in the links. And then the health one actually fell under another editor, but I'll add her into the links as well. And so in each magazine and even on their website, it tells you exactly who to send your submissions to on what topics. And so once again, you just have to read it and search and find out where you need to be. Magazines is our Bible, as it is all to spend time with. Yes, Anita, I agree with you. Oh my gosh, I don't know. So I started in the nail industry in 91, and I'm thinking that I've been consistent with the magazine since 91. And then Scratch Magazine, I'm not able to get here, but I look at their online just because I'm in the US, but they featured me in December, Scratch Magazine did. So even though you don't get the submission yourself, putting yourself out there, and Scratch Magazine, I can tell you guys, I never submitted into Scratch. They didn't find me on Nail Art Gallery. Somewhere along the way, they just saw my profile and they looked at it and said that they really liked what I was doing. And so keeping your profile clean and clear of, make it business related, make it positive. You never know who's watching your profile as well, because maybe they have bigger plans for you. And in this case, Scratch Magazine had great plans for me, and I didn't even know. And because I don't hashtag anything, and I'm not good at my watermarks and all of that, I can tell you I'm going to be a lot better because I want to be published more. Oh, so wonderful. All right, so let's talk more about pictures. The clarity of pictures, use your cell phone, use natural lighting. Sometimes there's apps out there that, like the Kara Kara app that I've heard about. I've never photoshopped any picture that I have. I put myself out there as honestly as possible. One, because I don't want my clients to see a picture of their nails and then it's photoshopped and they're like, oh, well, wait a minute, did she not like something about it, or how come my nails don't really look like that? Like after you Photoshop it, it might be such a transformation that the clients are like, yeah, I wish she could do that. Like I just don't like the idea of photoshopping pictures at all. I understand if they have a big hangnail, maybe, disguising that, but I just pose them in a different way, or I just take a picture of the one hand rather than both because I don't like the idea of photoshopping in my pictures. I want to be real. I want to be real for anybody who wants to see them, whether it's the client that is in that picture or it's going to be a magazine submission. I want them to see real and real before and afters, and so I don't Photoshop. My new goal is to be published. And Sue, sometimes we don't realize that being published isn't only in nail magazines, it's also in any beauty magazine. I mean, you could be in Vogue magazine, maybe just by a certain picture that you had, and maybe the lipstick, link into the company of the color that the lipstick was, or something in the picture, however it is, be creative. I mean, so Catherine said that she used to be an editor with like automotive magazine. Well, instantly my mind thinks, oh my gosh, like dirty hands holding a wrench, but awesome nails working. Like these nails work. This is obviously a female mechanic, put you in a bigger scope. Guess what? Now you can submit it into not only the tool company that you're holding the tool, the color of the polish that's on the nails, and Nails Magazine and the Automotive Magazine. Like, look how big you can make that just by letting your mind expand a little bit and not be so, closed minded or what if, or I can't do this. Because you know what? You can. And it happens. You don't know until you put yourself out there. I can't stress that enough because you have to have the mindset to just go for it and do it. And you know what? We're not standing up in front of an entire group of people presenting it. It's a one-on-one thing. You and your salon emailing it to one person on the other end. So it shouldn't create such an anxiety. It should be exciting that you're going to put yourself out there and try. And if you don't hear back from them, it just wasn't the right subscription for that month because I have submitted things onto my nail art gallery that 2 years later got published. What? So you just have to create that profile for yourself and be consistent in posting. And it's funny how they'll continuously watch you because sometimes I'll see like I'll post something and then somebody shared it and it will be people I've never even heard of and I link back in them and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that blogger shared my picture for their blog. It's amazing how much more we can get ourselves used and get ourselves published. I just taught a class that actually is just ending. It was called Get Branded, Get Used. And this is exactly what I talk in there. I talk into great detail of how to capture the picture and how to do all of that. And so know that sometimes there's some online classes. The Nails Magazine offer, free videos and stuff on how to capture the perfect picture, things that they look for and all that. So go to the next level and YouTube things and take pictures. Put yourself out there. Can't stress it enough. All right, so I'm kind of running out of things to talk about, as you can tell, because I start rambling on. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for joining Tech Talk Live. On Sunday, I have Lori Holloway, the Meticulous Manicurist, on YouTube, as well as she's published in this month's magazine. On Monday, so I have a back-to-back Tech Talk. On Monday, I have Greg Salo from Young Nails coming in, and he has all kinds of fun things to share with us that's new that's coming up. So I'm super excited to share that. And then remember to look at all the past Tech Talks. So if you go up into the event sections, I post an event for every Tech Talk that I do and what's coming up. And then I will copy the link of that Tech Talk into that event. So therefore, you can always go back and look at all the other Tech Talks easily without having to search for them. And so like I see Anita's on here. Anita's done Tech Talk with me with Cuccio and lots of great ideas from Anita. And so last week I was on with Max Estrada and Phoenix Van Dyke and Becky Vanille and Kim Love Monroe. You guys, Tech Talks are an amazing way to get true knowledge. It's not just somebody's opinion. We're getting the facts of how to from the source. How great is that? So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining in. Thank you for being an international group, and we want to see your submissions as well. So if you're nervous about submitting something to the magazine, submit it to our group first and get the feedback from people of what they think, that would be a good good troubleshooting with you, and then we can help you out as well. So we're here to help you grow. Okay. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you on Sunday.